Grand Old Partisan celebrates more than 16 decades of Republican heroes and heroics. Today I honor Booker T. Washington, born a slave in Southwest Virginia, April 5, 1856. Unknown to most people today is this civil rights leader was a staunch Republican. He detested the Democratic Party's racist policy agenda. After years working as a miner, Washington studied at the Hampton Institute. He then taught at Hampton. In 1881, that school's president recommended him for principal of the Tuskegee Institute, being established in Alabama to prepare African Americans for teaching careers. With the support of Republican philanthropists, notably Julius Rosenwald, Tuskegee thrived and became a university. As explained on page 135 of Back to Basics for the Republican Party, quote, Washington, an admirer of Frederick Douglass, emphasized vocational training for blacks in order to prepare them to be better farmers and craftsmen. The Tuskegee Institute, which he founded, rejected the curriculum of northern schools, Latin, geometry, and such, as absurdly unsuited to Southern reality. His bottom-up approach advocated incremental personal advancement for all blacks through self-improvement and moral rigor. In 1895, a former Republican governor of Georgia invited him to address the Cotton States and International Exposition. His Atlanta Compromise speech, at the height of the lynching mania, called on Democrats to ease their repression in return for blacks focusing on practical education and upward mobility. Again quoting, as a Southerner, Washington recognized the futility of challenging the white supremacist Democrats, that struggling for political rights was not only pointless, but could be suicidal. President William McKinley looked to Booker T. Washington for advice on federal appointments in the South. President Theodore Roosevelt made history by inviting him to dinner at the White House. President William Howard Taft also met with him to discuss social issues. Washington was a great force for good. His fundraising bestowed on the South more than 5,000 schools for African Americans. His autobiography, Up from Slavery, remains a literary classic. Back to Basics for the Republican Party is my civil rights history of the GOP. To quote the book, the more we Republicans know about the history of our party, the more the Democrats will worry about the future of theirs. For more information, see grandoldpartisan.com.